Good morning, this is Big Mama. I have a request from Nicci, who has made some of my rosettes, and she asked if I would make a video on my channel. I did this for Dear Julie's channel, and it's part of Julie's challenge where she's wanting book page rosettes, and so she wanted me to make them, and I made a few here. I just glued them down onto the scrap paper. I've got some other rosettes here that I've made different sizes, and I wanted to show you that a lot of times I will take a pile of the book pages, and this is just sitting a tea bag on here and letting it age out or dry and bleed into the paper. So this is a book page that's been altered, and then I did some ink, just put it on. You can see how stained up my table is right now, and I will get that cleaned up between projects. But right now the ink serves a good purpose when I want to stain more things. So there is using a distressed ink, and this one is the aged mahogany. And this is my ink pad that I'm going to be using on the edge of my rosettes, but I use the Distress Oxide and spritzed it on the table, spritzed some water on it, then put the pages down on it and just let them continue to blot out the color. And here's a tea bag again, a couple of different types of tea. So use your tea bags. Those wonderful flavored teas are great, and some of them end up with some incredible, I love how sometimes the oxide will turn and bleed out into the yellow. I think that is just so awesome. So I prepare a pile of pages to use for different themes, but Julie was wanting our rosettes to be used out of the book page, and so I grabbed one that had a lot of ink on it, and I went and added the Distress Oxide to the edge just like this on my table, and then got it wet. And when I got it wet, went back with the heat gun and let that bleed back up into the paper. And then I'm just going to take this ruler, has a tearing edge that leaves it all rough, and so I just measure out what I think the width is what I want. And to tell you the honest to goodness truth, the way I do it is that little gap right there, I kind of line up on the edge here to make sure I get it kind of straight, tear it down. I've been battling with a little bit of allergies, so if you hear some frogs in my throat, I definitely have them. So I start out here at the end, and I fold it in, pinching it down real good. And I want you to notice that little angle here and how it's coming off. But the most important thing for me is where I brought it up to the bottom line here. This point right here, I hope that I'm pointing to it real good for you. This point right here, I'm always going to come up to this line and as close to that point as possible and create that spin. So you can see I smashed it down, but look how close they are together here. This is the important part for me. So because I've made these a lot of times, my hand just kind of knows how much to pinch over and pinch down. But again, I want you to see how I'm bringing them all down to this point. They're on top of each other here, but they're layering out further here. And so I'm just bringing it down and pinching it down like that and bringing it around. And each time I do it, it's creating that curve. So, yeah, now I should be singing to you. La, 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 la. I hope that that wasn't a YouTube song, and now I'm going to have to pay royalties for la, 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 la. Oh, dear. What will I ever do? Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, won't we, kids? All right, so we're going to just keep going. And because these pages are short, I know that I can make it all the way around and use this whole page. And it comes together here, okay? Now, Nicci was taking and immediately gluing it down to a piece of paper. But this is how I do it, Nicci. I first of all try to open up my art glitter glue. And this was the first fold. This is the last fold. On the back of the last fold, I add a little bit of glue. Then I take that and I put it to the first fold. And at this point, I'm not worrying about what shape my rosette is in. I get that down really good. Now I'm going to go back and I'm bringing it down around on top, making sure all the folds are going the same way, because you can see how this one is, you can't make a decision. I'm going to have to make the decision for it. And sometimes, you know, they're that way. Okay, so now on my scrap of paper here, I'm going to take and put a dollop of daisy. That's a commercial here in the States. But I'm going to put that glue. I'm holding it there. Now I'm taking and putting it down and holding it. Okay. At this point, you can decide if you want to keep this piece of paper for a tag or something, or if you want to cut it off. And it is gluing everything together here in the back. And if you feel like it didn't get glued down securely, you can always bend this paper up and over into that and keep it a little bit tighter. But I don't need that, so I'm not going to worry about it, okay? But there we go. I'm going to tear that off. And there. Now, you can put a rhinestone in the middle of this. You can put a little button in the middle of it. You can take and put a smaller rosette in the middle of it. But one of the things that I like to do is take my gold pin, which is this gold marker. I like it a lot from Pilot. And the reason why I like it is because it comes out with a really, really fine point, but it's liquid. And so, just a second, I'll get the lid off of there. It says that the poor guy needs to be depressed. And so I'm going to get some of that and then just add that gold into the middle in here. Yeah, I'm being real quiet again. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be entertaining you guys. That's what videos are for, entertainment as well as tutorials, right? But there you go, with a little bit of gold in the middle for the center of my flower. Now you could add black for it to look like an actual flower. And then I'm going to just touch up the edge a little bit more. With my, and again, the color I'm using here is the aged mahogany, and the reason why I'm using it is because of the journal that I'm getting ready to make. The aged mahogany is going to be the best ink for it. Now, I also like to take and add a little bit of the black soot. It's should have had that right out here for you. So this is the black soot. And just do just a little bit for that antiqued look to the flower also. And you can see how nice that looks, and there's that gold shimmer to it. And then you can take and beat it up a little bit. So that when it is on your page, they're not just all perfect little flowers in a row. But see how you can put a few together on a page and it looks all pretty. So I hope that this helped you, Nicci, on how to make it. And please, if I need to do another one, holler. I'm not necessarily the video tutorial type of gal that you want to go to. I know that there are a lot of rosettes out there. And this was what I was inspired to do some 5 years ago. And I honestly, to tell you the truth, at that time, I was watching so many different people and I was soaking it all in, that there were people that were making things like Pam at the Paper Outpost and Tina from, oh my gosh, Shabby Dabby Doodah, and Natasha, a Treasure Book, and they were all showing different ways to make rosettes, but this is the way my hands have kind of started making them, and so this is the Big Mama way, but by no means is it the only way to do it. So you go out there and use your scraps, or take, like I did, a book page here and grunge them up, and then start tearing them apart and making some beautiful flowers. Have a good day, and just know that this crafty community is absolutely amazing, and I thank you all for being there. Bye-bye.